You guys would probably be surprised to know that nursing was not my top program or even my second choice. It was actually my third. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you guys are new here. This is probably like my 8th time trying to film this video because nothing seems to be going right today. My hair is just not cooperating and my room is getting hotter the longer I stay in here. So that's fun. But today I wanted to answer the age-old question, a question that I have received and a question that I still receive a countless amount of times from friends, family, acquaintances, and I'm sure this is a question that nursing students and nurses everywhere get asked all the time, and that is, why did you choose nursing? So today I'm going to be giving you guys my personal reasons as to why I chose the nursing pathway and convinced me to pursue nursing as a career. If this is your first video of mine and you have no idea who I am or what I'm doing, I have just finished studying my first year of nursing at the University of Ottawa. I'm studying a 4-year degree program, and at the end I will be getting my Bachelors of Science in Nursing. I have been documenting my nursing journey and my university journey on my YouTube channel, so I would love if you guys could subscribe and stick around and see where this nursing journey of mine takes me. So today I'm going to be answering this question, and let's start from when I was a child. I think it would be perfect if I could say that my dream career as a child was nursing and to become a nurse, but I would be lying if I said that because that wasn't the case whatsoever. As a child, I really wanted to be a teacher. I always saw myself being a teacher, but when I got to grade 9, I started to actually research careers and research programs that I could potentially study in university. Now I know some of you guys are probably thinking, you just started high school and you started looking into programs in university and started thinking about your future and your job? Like, that's a little too early. Honestly, yeah, it was early, but I have anxiety and my anxiety causes me to overthink, which leads me to overplan, even if that means planning 4 to 5 years in advance. That's just the way my brain works. So I started doing research and I got really interested in the profession of nursing. So I looked so much into it where I eventually just fell in love with everything about it, and I then ended up planning the rest of my high school studies to ensure that I got all prerequisites done so that I could be eligible to apply for a nursing program at a university. I know in the States nursing school is very different because you study 2 years at university and then you apply for a nursing school. I mean, that's just what I know of, but in Canada you can actually start nursing straight out of high school. I'm pretty sure this is the case for every single province except for Quebec. So our nursing program basically is your prereqs and your nursing school all combined. So that's why you guys would have noticed that I studied anatomy and physiology, and I know that is considered a nursing prereq, but for me it's part of my degree. So yeah, that's basically what happened, and when it came to grade 12 I actually ended up applying to 3 different programs, and you guys would probably be surprised to know that nursing was not my top program or even my second choice. It was actually my third. So towards the end of grade 11 I became so invested and interested in all aspects of nutrition. So when I applied, I actually had nutritional science as my top choice. I was so set on becoming a nutritionist or a registered dietitian at that point. I really had done like a 180 from nursing, and I really thought that nutrition was what I wanted to do. My second option was human kinetics, so kinesiology, exercise science, that type of stuff, and my third choice was nursing. I didn't care where I applied to for nursing, like if it was the main campus or collab. I just wanted a program in there, so I just applied for collab nursing, and also I have friends older than me who are in that program too, so I thought it would be nice having them there in case I ever needed help or whatever the case may be. When it came to actually accepting an offer and really thinking about where I saw myself and what I wanted to do with my career, nothing sat right with me other than a nurse. Like, I couldn't see myself being a registered dietitian or a nutritionist at that point, and I also didn't even know what I would do with a human kinetics degree, if I'm being honest with you guys. So I just really decided that, you know what, you've been planning for nursing for 4 years now, why are you gonna just give it up? I thought about it, realized nursing was for me, and I had accepted my offer. I finished my first year of studies, and that brings us to present day. Now let's talk about some of the reasons that encouraged me to pursue this pathway. So the biggest thing is that I love helping people, and when I help people I want to give them my 110%. I want to put their needs before mine and make sure that whatever they need is dealt with and their needs are met. I don't know if this has to do with just the way I was raised or just like family values and religious values, but for me, like having the opportunity to study health and become a health professional and then using my expertise expertise in my education to help people in vulnerable positions. That's just so amazing to me, and obviously it's a very fulfilling job too. It's very gratifying, but just the fact that I'm able to help somebody who has no idea what's going on with themselves and with their body, or are just in dire situations and are very vulnerable, that is just amazing to me. And that is also, I feel like, a big reason as to why I was so interested in teaching as well, because it's basically the same thing along the same lines in just different terms, if that makes sense. The second reason is that the amount of school required for nursing is very reasonable. You can become a registered nurse with your BSN after studying your undergraduate degree, which is 4 years. So it is a professional degree, which is basically why you are so prepared to get into the field right after graduation. So it's really great because a lot of people don't want to pursue more schooling anyway, so it's nice to just be able to go into the field after your undergrad, and then if you want to pursue more schooling, you still can. So the next few reasons are all basically under the category of flexibility with a nursing degree and being in the nursing profession. First thing I want to say is that there are so many opportunities to grow and advance in your career. You can go back to school and do graduate school, whether you choose to further your education in nursing and become a nurse practitioner, or whether you want to do something completely different like an MBA and go more towards the management and the business side of healthcare and nursing, or whether you want to do something more related to education and become an educator. There are so many different things that you can do and so many ways you can further your education and advance your career. The next reason under the category of flexibility is that there are so many different specialties, like there's labor and delivery, pediatrics, geriatrics, oncology. There's so much, and you are exposed to so many different specialties throughout your schooling in nursing school, but there's so many to choose from, and if you realize that one of the specialties isn't for you, or you're tired, or you're really just getting burnt out, you can switch. And switching specialties is very appealing to me because I have anxiety, and for me to think about just picking one specialty and working that for the rest of my life absolutely terrifies me. I know some people are happy working in that one specialty forever, but for me, especially as a student right now, thinking of just choosing one specialty terrifies me. I'm sorry if you notice the lighting changing, clouds are moving, so just gotta deal with it. My last reason under the category of flexibility is that you don't just have to work in a hospital. I think one of the common misconceptions is that nurses have to work 12-hour shifts at the hospital. That's not the case. Honestly, that does not work for everybody's lifestyle, and that's okay. You can work in a clinic or a doctor's office, which are typically shorter shifts, like 6 to 8 hours, maybe more or less depending where you are. You can work honestly for the government or for public health in an office, or now with all the advancements of technology in the past decade, especially in the past few years, telemedicine has become more significant and more relevant, so you can work remotely as a registered nurse, and that's also a very viable option for a lot of people too, and it's really realistic and convenient. So there are a lot of different things that you can do. You're not just subjected to work as a floor nurse. You can play around with how long you work, where you work, what specialty you work in. So the overall flexibility was definitely really appealing to me. But those are basically just the main reasons to why I personally chose nursing. Obviously, there are other factors that a lot of people take into consideration as well. 2 factors that I did consider, but they're not make or break factors for me. Obviously, the job security. Basically, there's always going to be a demand for nurses as far as I know, and getting employed from graduation is pretty high. Like, I was checking the other day for my school, and within 6 months of graduation, there's a 97% employment rate for uOttawa nursing students that just get their BSN. So you can imagine that that's really high. Like, that's super duper high. And then the other factor is the income. So for some people, income from a BSN might not be enough for them, and maybe they want to pursue more studies so that they can get a greater income. But your income can increase, and there's different ways that you can get more. You can get premiums for night shift and with seniority and just a bunch of different things. It also depends where you work too, because some hospitals will pay more just depending on where it is and stuff, but the income is relatively good. Those are 2 factors that I did consider, but they weren't like factors that helped me decide if nursing was what I wanted to do for good, if that makes sense. I just want to talk a little bit about where I see myself, or just plans for the future. Obviously, we can plan things to the T, but God always has something in store for us that we might not even know about, but this is just kind of where I see myself. So if I had to pick one unit to work on, it would definitely be pediatrics. I was interested in NICU and PICU, which are the neonatal and pediatric intensive care units, but you see a lot of stuff on those floors, and I don't think I could handle it. If you guys can handle it, I really respect you, but I just don't think I am strong enough for that type of stuff. But I really love kids, so I'm really interested in working in pediatrics, and that would be a really great experience for me, and I would just love that overall. And then then I am not opposed to doing any extra schooling either, whether I go back for nurse practitioner or anything else. If I'm given the opportunity to go back and further my studies, I'm most likely gonna take it. Also, something that is probably a dream of mine would be to work as a cosmetic nurse, medical aesthetic nurse, whatever you guys call it. So work in a plastic surgeon's office and administer injections, Botox, and fillers. If I got that job as an RN from just my BSN, I would love it, and I probably wouldn't consider going back to school. Honestly, time will tell, and God willing, we will see what happens, but those are just kind of like where I see myself. I talked about this a year ago, so I kind of want to talk about this every year and see if anything changes or what I really think and all that good stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys were kind of debating whether nursing was for you or not, I hope this helped you kind of come up with a decision or help you come closer to that decision. I do plan on making more sit-down talking videos related to nursing because I feel like there's not that much information about Canadian nursing schools and Canadian nursing programs and just the profession of being a nurse in Canada, at least on YouTube. So I want to definitely shed more light on some topics. So if there are any topics in general you want me to talk about, or more specifically anything you want me to mention, then let me know in the comments below or on Instagram. You can shoot me a DM. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next one.